day for South Australian Cricket Association and for cricket in Australia, because Les Burdett is announcing his retirement. He's worked here for 40 years, or thereabouts, and between he and his mentor Arthur Lance, I think they've been preparing this ground and wickets for as long as anybody alive can really remember. Les has really become not only the face of Pasaka, but he's become the face of cricket in some respects in Australia, and is probably the best known groundsman, I would suggest, in the world today. He's prepared wickets here with unfailing quality for all of this time, and has battled with the problems of grass and diseases and what have you until about 5 years ago, when he decided that he would persuade the board to resurface all this ground. And I think probably one of the great things that Les will be remembered for is the surface of that ground, the quality of the wickets. Because I can tell you that if you go out there now, there's no better cricket ground surface in the world. And he's done all of that, including the planning, the lasering, the watering, and the drainage of all of that. I can only say, as a wicket maker, as a preparer of grass, as a fixer of other people's problems, whether it's in India or Kuala Lumpur or at Telstra Dome, when all the wickets were going wrong in the first games as they tried to play indoors with drop-ins. Les is always the guy that they go and get hold of to fix the problem, and he's been able to do that, and he'll be able to do that for a long time going forward. Luckily, he's agreed to help us in some form of consultancy, which we will work out, finish off this development on the western side, and those matters will be decided. But I'd just like to inadequately express to Les, and on behalf of all cricket lovers in Australia, really, I think, especially the South Australians, our thanks to somebody who's put his whole life into looking after this ground and tendering the grass. That old expression, groundsman, was the right expression in its early days, because it meant somebody who tended and loved the ground and everything that grew in it. He's done that in a way that has, in my view, and in most people's view, no peer. So I'd like to publicly thank him. There will be other occasions where we'll do it more formally, probably. But I'd like to thank him for that, and hand over to Les and say a few words on this. It's been very good job. Yeah.
Thank you, Ian. And I guess the journey is not coming to an end. The decision to retire was brought about, I guess, a lot of things that sort of compounded it, but I guess 40 plus years of my life at the best office in the world, to be fortunate enough to be in control of such a magnificent cricket ground, and through the journey, Ian, the board before you, and certainly you, I consider you a mate, and I say that quite openly and sincerely. You've helped me all the way through. At times I've frustrated you because I want to buy a bit more equipment, but you've always come across in the end, and
You bought it anyway.
yeah, the accountant's in the mail. But it's been terrific. I mean, and obviously it's the people that I'm alluding to. It's from the athletes, from the friendships you have the privilege to and the opportunity to meet, from the late Barry Gibbs and Hooksy, and guys of that ilk. Been fortunate enough to meet and spend time with them, called mates, and I guess currently with Book Lehman we share a variety of bash cards together and collect money for kids and keep that camaraderie going. But the Oval is, this decision hasn't been the simplest decision I've ever made. I sat down with Jane and Zoe and Emma a week ago actually, and contemplated future, and I'm still fit and healthy. the magnitude of the place and developments that are on the horizon. And you see what's happened with the Western Grandstand, where it's just something that had to happen, and to me it's just going to make the Adelaide Oval even more grand. And with Ian and the board's blessing, I certainly don't want to walk away from Adelaide Oval at any point in time. I want to stay connected in some way, shape or form, and if I can help put in new practice pitches and make number 2 ground good again, and the green belt behind the Western Grandstands after July, I'd like to continue with that and see that project completely through to the Ashes. Somebody asked me why not wait until to the Ashes. But I like to think that I'm not a grandstander, and I wasn't going to prepare the pitch for the Ashes and then put my hand up and say I'm retiring now. That's not my way. I wanted to give Ian and the board a bit of notice, and I guess when I went to Ian's office 2 days ago and asked if I could have a cup of coffee with him, which we did do, and I explained my position to Ian quite openly, man to man, and I was certainly pleased the way that you supported my comments, Ian, and then spoke to John late that day as well and made the decision to retire. It's not an easy decision, but it's one that I'd just like to thank everyone for the opportunity to have this love affair with the Adelaide Oval, and I guess Adelaide Oval has been good to me. I guess Adelaide Oval gave me the opportunity to do a West End beer ad, which is one of the highlights. I guess when your name's on a bottle top, you certainly made it. But
beer was free.
Beer was free. But it's just to give you the opportunity to expose me, I guess. I thank the Adelaide Oval for that. I thank SACA for that, and of course my work colleagues. Certainly the ground staff, we're all mates. We do it together. We set a game plan together. We're all involved with that game plan and we action it together. And from that, we've been able to present the ground to the standard that I guess we've all enjoyed for many moons. And of course to all other staff of SACA, you're all mates also. I mean, this is a family unit at the SACA. It certainly is, and I'm going to, I guess that's why I wanted to do it so much warning with doing it now rather than leaving it in July and sort of walking out the door. One, it would have been tough for me, and I probably couldn't hold myself together as well as I'm trying to at the minute. But it gives me a bit of time to finish some undone business with the SACA, and then with Ian's blessing, consult back to making sure that that Western Grandstand is completed. I think at this point there's probably enough from me. Unless someone's got some questions.
Why retire now, given you're still going to stay around and do the job? So why step away from your post?
Corey, from outside looking in, it looks pretty simple. Grab the lawnmower and the roll and get out and do it and talk to the seagulls. But it's enduring. If you ask my family, it's a 7-day summer. It's a commitment. It's all waking days of thinking about the next step, what's in the horizon and what you need to do to make sure that that event is excellent. So you don't shut down. It's just on your mind all the time. You get to a scenario where you don't know what day it is, and I've done that for 40 years. And I like to fish. I don't get enough opportunity to fish. I like to play golf. I've played golf for 2.5 years. I'd like to have the opportunity to do the things that normal people do on weekends. But I don't want to turn my back on the place. I want to have a little compromise where, with SACA's blessing, I've been able to retire. I guess on my terms. No one's pushed me. Nobody's asked me to do this. It's my heart talking. I've had the opportunity sort of to make this decision, as hard as it has been. But I think it's the best thing for me, my family, and certainly for the Adelaide Oval as well.